I like a religion that teaches liberty, equality, and fraternity. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, also known as Babasaheb Ambedkar, was born on April 14, 1891 at Mahur in Madhya Pradesh, India. He was a good student, earning doctorates from both London University and Columbia University of London. He gained a reputation as a scholar for his research in law, economics, and political science. In his early career, he was an editor, economist, professor, and activist who was against the discrimination Dalits faced because of caste. Dr.B.R Ambedkar's later career included participating in political activities. Dr.B.R Ambedkar was born in Mahur of Madhya Pradesh. His father was Ramji Sakpal, who was an army officer in the British Indian Army. Dr.B.R Ambedkar was the 14th son of his father. Bhimrao Sakpal was his mother. His family was of Marathi background from the town of Amravadi. Dr.B.R Ambedkar was born as a Dalit and he was treated as an untouchable. He was subjected to regular social and economic discrimination. Although Ambedkar attended school, he and other Dalit students were treated as untouchables. They were separate from another group of students from other castes and were not given attention by the teachers. They were even not allowed to sit with other students for their own drinking water. He used to drink water with the help of the peon, as he and other Dalit students were not allowed to touch anything. His father retired in 1894, and his mother passed away 2 years after they moved to Satara. Of all his brothers and sisters, Ambedkar was the only one who passed his examination and went to high school. Later in high school, his school Brahmin teacher changed his surname for Ambedkar, which was given by his father to Ambedkar in records. This shows the level of discrimination that was done on Dalits. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar education in 1897. Ambedkar became the only untouchable to get enrolled at the Elphinstone High School. In 1906, Ambedkar, who was 15 years old, married a 9-year-old named Ramabai. The marriage was done by the couple's parents as per the rituals. In 1912, he obtained his degree in political science and economics from Bombay University and was employed by the Baroda state government. In 1913, Ambedkar moved to the United States as he was awarded a scholarship for 3 years by Sahajrao Gaikwad III. The scholarship was designed to provide opportunities for postgraduate education at Columbia University in New York City. In 1915, he majored in economics, sociology, history, philosophy, and anthropology. In 1917, he completed his master's degree and wrote a thesis on the problem of the rupee, its origin and solution. And in 1923, he completed a D.Sc. in economics, which was awarded by the University of London. The birthday of Dr.B.R Ambedkar, or Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, is on April 14, as he was born on that day in Mahur, India, in the year 1891 and died on December 6, 1956, in New Delhi. His mother's name was Bhimabai and father's name was Ramji Sakpal. He was born in an army cantonment in Madhya Pradesh, as his father was an army subedar. Once his father retired, they moved to Satara, and that's where his mother passed away. His father remarried 4 years after the death of his mother, and the family relocated to Bombay. When Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was 15 years old, he was married to Ramabai, who was a 9-year-old girl in 1906. In 1912, the father of Ambedkar died in Bombay. Ambedkar had a difficult time in his childhood because he always faced caste discrimination. He belonged to a Dalit family and Dalits were considered untouchables, a low caste. When Ambedkar was in an army school, he faced discrimination there as well. Due to this, teachers usually made separate arrangements for low caste students so that they are not mixed with high caste students like Brahmins. Sometimes Ambedkar and other low caste students were even asked to sit outside the classroom by the teachers as they feared it might cause problems if low caste students were mixed with high class students. The problem of caste discrimination didn't end, and for Ambedkar even when he was enrolled in a local school in Satara, his discrimination seemed to be following him. When he came back from America, the King of Baroda appointed him as his defense secretary. Even being in such a high position, he was called untouchable by his upper-class officials. Ambedkar was involved in campaigning and negotiation of India's independence. After independence, he became the chairman of the drafting committee of the Indian Constitution. After India's independence, he was the first Minister of Law and Justice and is considered to be the architect of the Constitution of India. In 1956, he converted to Buddhism, resulting in the mass conversion of Dalits. In 1948, Ambedkar suffered from diabetes. After fighting diabetes for almost 7 years, Ambedkar passed away in his sleep on December 6, 1956, at his home. In 1908, Ambedkar passed his 10th class from the Elphinstone High School. He graduated from Bombay University in 1912, and his subjects included political studies and economics. Ambedkar was an intelligent student and cleared all his exams without much problem. Gaikwad ruler of Sayajirao III was so impressed with him that he gave a scholarship of 25 rupees per month to Ambedkar. Ambedkar used all that money to continue his studies outside India. He applied for Columbia University in New York to complete his master's degree in economics. He was selected in the university and completed his master's degree in 1915. And this is the time when he gave his thesis called Ancient Indian Commerce. In 1916, he started working on his new thesis, The Problem of the Rupee, its origin and its solution, and this was the time when he applied for the London School of Economics and got selected. In this thesis, he was also helped by Governor Lord Sydenham. In Sydenham College of Commerce and Economics, he became a political science professor, but he decided to continue his further studies and went to England. He completed his PhD degree in 1927 in economics and was awarded a doctorate by the University of Columbia in the same year. Achievements of Dr.B.R Ambedkar played a key role in the formation of the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, in 1935. Back in 1955, he was the first person to propose the partition of Madhya Pradesh and Bihar for better government. He also wanted to make Sanskrit the Indian Union's official language, and he took part in the Lok Sabha election twice but failed to win on both occasions. Waiting for a visa, his autobiography is used as a textbook at Columbia University. He was opposed to the principle of employment and constituency reservation and didn't want the system to exist at all. He was the first Indian to earn a PhD degree outside of India. Ambedkar was the one who pushed for a reduction in India's working hours from 14 to 8 hours a day. He was the vocal opponent of the Indian Constitution, Article 370, which granted the state of Jammu and Kashmir special status. In 1916, Dr.B.R Ambedkar worked as the Defense Secretary for the princely state of Baroda. As he was a Dalit, war was not easy. He was ridiculed by the people and often ignored. After continuous caste discrimination, he quit his job as the defense secretary and took up jobs as a private tutor and accountant. He later established a consulting firm, but it failed to flourish. The reason has been that he was a Dalit. He finally got a job as a teacher at the Sydenham College of Commerce and Economics in Mumbai. As Ambedkar was a victim of caste discrimination, he thrived on uplifting the pitiable state of the untouchables in their society. He founded a weekly journal called Mukanayak, which enabled him to criticize the beliefs of the Hindus. He was passionate about eradicating the practice of caste discrimination in India, which led him to establish Bahishkrit at Karani Sabha. The main goal of the organization was to provide education to the backward classes in 1927. He continuously worked against untouchability. He followed the footsteps of Gandhi and led Satyagraha movement. The untouchables were denied access to the main source of drinking water and entering temples. He fought for the rights of the untouchables. In 1932, the Pune Pact was formed. This allowed reservation for the depressed class in the regional legislative assembly and central council states. In 1935, he founded the Independent Labour Party, which secured 14 seats in the Bombay election. How many hours did Ambedkar study? Dr.B.R Ambedkar was a social transformer and a great leader of our nation. But at the heart of his personality was his dedication. He used to spend 18 hours studying at a stretch. He believed that education is the key to a person's growth.